All right, Jeff Feebas, Sports Information Director here at Calvin University, high atop Vennord Arena as we get ready for the 2025 Calvin C Club Awards, and I am joined by Calvin's head acrobatics and tumbling coach, Ellen Barker. It's not our first interview in front of the C Club Awards, but it is our first interview after a completed season. So, Coach, just tell us about the first ever competitive season for Calvin women's acrobatics and tumbling.
Happy to start this event off right. It's been so much fun. Honestly, I couldn't think of a better group of girls or young women to start this program with. They've set a really great foundation in terms of values, in terms of everything they want to accomplish. We just got finished with our exit meetings, and they're very excited for next year. So to end the way we did with some wins and then, fifth at the D3 tournament was incredible.
Yeah, I was just going to mention you competed at the D3 Nationals in Buffalo, New York, and while there got your first two dual victories, I guess is how you would term it. Defeated Adrian in Buffalo State, and then you had an individual go on to the individual portion as well. So that had to be really exciting. Just talk about that week in Buffalo.
It was honestly the best week, I think, of season for obvious reasons. But to peak at the right time, I think for a lot of coaches will understand this too, is really imperative. And so to get those wins when it really counted, we had some hiccups during season that, kind of prevented us from doing that. But that whole experience is amazing. I love working with my fellow D3 coaches in acro and tumbling because we really put that together to make a really cool event. So Jenna Wirt was in the top 3 aerial passes of all Division III. And so she was the lone Calvin representative, and the whole gym was just screaming for it. It was so much fun.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I know that a coach likes to see is improvement throughout a year. And just looking at your scores got better and better and better. I mean, I could tell that, from keeping that, in the sports information side, but you had to be really excited with the gradual improvement and continued improvement by your team.
Absolutely. And I think really showed the team that you can't run before you walk. And we really took our time to build on the basics. And it takes time to do that. And since we get so much less time than our Division I and II counterparts, it takes us time to develop during the season. And I thought that was really cool. And it certainly was an improvement. We went back and actually as a team at the Division III tournament and watched our first meet together and had some giggles on how much we've improved.
Right. Well, I just got done writing up a press release where 50% of your roster ended up getting on the academic honor roll for the NCATA. That's 9 of your 18. So you have to be really proud of that. That's for a 3.3 GPA or above. So they're putting the work in the classroom as well. It's, I'm sure, a hallmark that you want to put down for your program.
Of course, yeah. I mean, I think that's kind of the Calvin standard. And so we're happy to kind of just continue that with acro and tumbling too.
So final question, off season, what are you working on as a coach? What will the athletes do, and how do you continue to build, forward and, onward and up?
For sure. So we just had our exit meetings, and for actually the most of the time, the questions were, how can I get better? How can I improve? The first step is to rest.
Right.
There's a lot of time between now and next season, so I told them to take at least a month to just rest their bodies. And then we kind of get started in July. I send out some suggested workouts, and they can go on their own time, but they kind of just get moving, and a lot of them have asked what they can work on, and so I've given specifics for individuals, and we're just looking to grow as much as possible, and they're going to develop into something great.
Absolutely. Well, it's been a lot of fun watching this team grow. Had some home meets this year, and we'll have home meets next year, so we're looking forward to it. Thanks for stopping by, Coach.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right. That was Coach Ellen Barker, head coach of Calvin Women's Acrobatics and Tumbling. We'll be back with our next interview in just a moment. he'll cue us in. And actually,
Okay.
when it goes red, we're live, not when it.
Think opposite.
That's correct.
And Krishnner's here. Mia's
Then we got
coming up.
Ellen out of the way. She was the
Yep.
early bird. So.
Yep.
All right, Jeff Feebas, Sports Information Director, Calvin, back here with our Director of Athletics, Dr. Jim Timmer. And Jim, this is, I think, an event that has gone on since the spring of 2013, if I remember correctly. So the Calvin Seed Club ceremonies, I mean, this is kind of the genesis that came out of your brain. So tell us how, you thought about putting this together and how it's kind of evolved over the years to what it is today.
Well, again, thanks, Jeff, for having me. I think, yeah, this is 12th year. And I don't know if there's a COVID year, if we might have missed that spring there. So, not arguing about numbers. I think a lot of schools try to do this, try to figure out a way to honor teams. And
Right.
teams do some banquet stuff. And I think everyone kind of puts their own spin on what is the what we'd call the SB Awards that people are so familiar with. And for us, we hope to show that we can celebrate each other's accomplishments.
Right,
And we'll have
right.
800 some people in here tonight from all different teams, individual sport teams and football teams and hockey teams. And I think to get us all in a room and kind of celebrate each other, and I think that's a valuable lesson for people to learn for their life. And I think this is just give us an opportunity to do that, plus recognize some outstanding performances by a lot of folks this year. And we've been blessed at Calvin to have a lot of outstanding athletes and teams, and we're able to honor them this way has been kind of a joy. So a lot of hands are touching this thing, from our athletic staff to our event staff to the good folks in IT and live streaming and yourself, and for all the work that you put into it. So it's a night you can see I'm sweating, and that's because
You're on the run.
and the labor of love, right? So and really enjoy it.
So I guess one of the things, and I think back on this year, and I was just thinking back to the fall, and it seems like a long time ago that we were prepping for the first Calvin football season. And it's part of this academic year and this experience that we had, opening that, the first practices, and then opening that football building as well, the locker room and all that type of thing. And then the first game. I remember when we had that first game, which I think, what was that, September 7 or so?
September 7, you bet.
And we're playing Oberlin, and I remember we kicked the ball off, and I'm just looking through the press box and like, this is actually happening. And I was like pinching myself that this was actually happening. So just take us back to the fall and all of that went on. It was a lot of heavy lifting, but it sure was rewarding.
It was rewarding. And I think I said on the day, I think Matt Kaczynski interviewed me on the sideline like probably 3 minutes before that kickoff and asked me how I was feeling. And it was emotional. And again, it's a tribute to everyone here at Calvin University and the commitment they made and Coach Fig and his staff and the student athletes who, some of them took a chance on us and waited almost a year to play a real football game, and to have that all come together on September 7 and a great win is something that I won't forget as in my 20 years that I've been doing athletic administration, and to see the community come together, it was a great event, and we got a long way to go. I mean, Coach Fig would tell you the same thing. We're excited about some of the new announcements. There's going to be some announcements coming out. Just I can't reveal those, but in the short term, there's going to be some announcements that will continue that march towards the football championship that we all want. And I think it takes a lot of gratitude on the part of the other athletes, because a lot of attention, a lot of time went towards football in that short period.
Well, and then we opened the new Calvin Soccer Stadium October 5, and both teams made the national tournament. The women got to host an NCAA regional, and what a spectacular facility that has been added to the repertoire. It's been great. We've used it a lot this spring with lacrosse.
Yeah, you know what? We sit in Vernord Arena, and at Vernord Arena, one of the things we talked about Vernord Arena, we're 14, 15 years into Vernord Arena, 2009, and now it's 2025. And every time you walk in here, it takes your breath away, but you go, man, wow. I think the soccer stadium has that same effect. And like a lot of our, we forget we had new track as well.
Right.
But those facilities show that commitment to the student athlete experience, the commitment to excellence, and the soccer venue is just fabulous. And then to have lacrosse playing it this spring and possibly next spring is been outstanding, first class. And
Right.
I think that's one of the things that we're trying to differentiate ourselves in the marketplace. So, wow, thank you to the donors, the supporters, and the vision of our administration.
Yeah, one thing I was going to mention about that track complex, it kind of went in shortly before last year's C Club, or actually had its first competition, was finished in, the fall of 2023.
Right.
But we hosted the conference championships in early May last year, and I think there were about 10 conference records that got broken. So that track ran very fast in those 2 days.
Well, I think what's really so unique for a school our size, and I would look around the state of Michigan, even with our Division I and NAIA partners out there, there's very few track-only facilities built, designed, thought about from a wind protection and surface and the angles of that and the ability to have everyone in that one spot. It is not only produced a great fan experience, but certainly the athletes have enjoyed some success on that track.
So another big event locally here coming up this Thursday night, May 1, Kelvin Hope Baseball at LMCU Ballpark, home of the West Michigan Whitecaps, just northwest side of Grand Rapids, just up US 131 in Comstock Park. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it has a couple elements to it. One, we're really excited to showcase our baseball team, and Joel Skipper's doing a great job in his first year, and we may get him up here and talk to you here. But I think, I did a show small college baseball, and I hope's been a good partner. It just worked out. The schedule worked out that we're playing our rival. We're playing them late in the year, so you think the weather's going to hold, and we hope it holds. So, one, you had the opportunity. The Whitecaps folks have been great to work with, and we've get good support from some sponsors and donors. And so we think this is going to be a really showcase event at a time of year where there's been a lot of showcase events around campus, and I think this will add to it. But it's an important game, right? So we've clinched a playoff berth, but we want to get that highest seed as possible, maybe even get a home playoff game. So while it'll be a lot of fun, and it's not the Savannah Bananas, right? Playing at Clemson, this means a lot to both teams.
Absolutely. Any other things that you wanted to touch on that we're missing here from the spring or this evening, things to look for tonight?
No, Jeff, I mean, I think you're going to cover it a lot in your interviews tonight. And I just want to, as we get to the end of the school year like this and the academic year, thank all the people that have made Calvin Athletics possible. Your office is certainly one of those folks that I don't know how you do it. Bree and Mike and yourself and all the support group that we have behind the scenes. So I want to thank you and your staff and all the people that make Calvin Athletics possible. I get the microphone a lot, but I tell you what, there's a lot of people that makes a night like this and a year like this happen. So thanks a lot.
Absolutely. Thanks for stopping by. That's Dr. Jim Timmer Jr., our Director of Athletics here at Calvin University.
Awesome. There you go.
All right, we are joined here by Mia Judd, otherwise known as MJ, here on the Calvin campus. This is our MJ, Calvin University MJ, and she was the league MVP in women's soccer this fall, all region, all conference, do everything. Midfielder, box-to-box midfielder, as we like to say. And Mia, it's great to have you here. Make sure you hold that microphone up close when you talk. But tell us a little bit about what it's been like to play Calvin soccer for 3 years.
Calvin is such an amazing community here. I love every single one of my teammates, and they are my best friends. If it wasn't for them, it wouldn't have been as great. Like, they're what makes Calvin soccer awesome. It's been an amazing 3 years, and I'm hoping to finish it off great with this fourth year coming this fall. We've had some great success in the MIAA conference regular season. We've won all 3 of my years here, and then also won all 3 of the tournaments as well, and 3 NCAA appearances.
So 3 NCAA appearances, and you came to Calvin from Lansing Christian High School, where you played for a good friend who's a bit of a Unique individual, Coach Joel Vandekoppel, who's a former Calvin Knight great. He scored a goal in the closing minutes to beat Hope for a league championship way back when. Always like to bring that up, and of course he enjoys that too. But what was it like to play for Coach Vandekoppel, and did he have any influence on you coming on to Calvin University here?
Yeah, VK would always make comments about, like, I would do something good, and he would always be like, now that's a Calvin touch right there, or that's a Calvin goal.
Yeah.
And then if I made, like, kind of a bad touch or something, he would say, that's kind of a Hope touch right there. But I loved playing for him. He taught me a lot.
Yeah.
And he definitely played a huge factor in me coming to Calvin, and pretty much got on me about it every single day of practice, in and out of season. So
tell us a little bit about playing in the new stadium this year. I mean, you were on the pitch, so to speak, but it really got completed right at the end of September, and then homecoming October 5, and a bunch of alumni came out from the Calvin women's soccer team to or program to support you. So just your thoughts on playing in the facility, having that locker room that you guys have. It's pretty amazing.
I'm so thankful for it, and we all are as well. The donors are so, we are very appreciative of all the donors, and it's just great, like, playing in that amazing stadium and looking up at all our family, friends, alumni. The support that people have shown us this year is incredible, and we just had an alumni 2 weeks ago, and so many people came out to that, and it's just shows how strong our program is.
So Coach Vandekoppel, mentioned him. Coach Ottenhoff, your coach here at Calvin University. She's a pretty special coach. What's it like to play for her?
It's great. She's so competitive like I am. And
a former Knight, you know?
Yep, exactly. Yeah. She has such a huge love for the game, and very competitive and very passionate about what she does here. Yes, like you said, she played here and was an All-American, and she's a huge inspiration, and really carries our team along and coaches us up.
So finally, academically, I believe you're a nursing major, if I remember my fall information, and you're a Dean's List student. How do you find time to balance all of that between the two?
It's a lot, but I feel like I'm pretty good at managing time. So studying when I can, and hanging out with friends, and sports.
Very good. Very good. Well, you do a great job of it.
Thank you.
So looking forward to that senior year. Have fun tonight. This is Mia Judd from the Calvin women's soccer team. We'll be back in just a moment.
Thank you.
Yeah. So he'll cue. Jeff Feebas back here with Calvin head baseball coach Joel Skipper. Joel, great to have you here tonight. And,
great to be here. First time.
Yeah, well, thanks for making the time during a busy season. You were here, well, you've probably been at Calvin for many years in your life. Your dad and your mom are very notable athletes, so I'm sure you had a lot of Calvin in your blood, but you were part of the Calvin baseball coaching staff back in, I think, 2018, 2019 when Coach Van Dyne took over.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Yeah, it came with Coach Van Dyne. That was kind of my first college coaching opportunity, so it was really cool, to be around the program. Obviously, Coach Van Dyne and his staff laid a great foundation for us, so it's been fun to build off that, and kind of made that transition period pretty fun.
So out to Nebraska for a short term, and then this job comes open. How exciting was it to be able to come home and to do it here at Calvin?
Really good to be back. I think I had some great experiences, kind of learned the job a little bit, made some great friendships out in Nebraska, but definitely good to be back home. Got married in November to my wife, so definitely great to be back close to family and kind of start our life with Adeline, my wife. So it's been great, and obviously the baseball side of things has been tremendous this year. Hit our big goal of making the conference tournament, so that was great. Got 3 big ones against the rivalry this week, so it should be fun. We're getting geared up to play at Lake Michigan Credit Union on Thursday, so can't wait for that one.
Well, you've already hit the 21 plateau, first time since 2021 that this program has done that. I think you were picked 6th in the MIAA preseason coaches poll. So what have been some of the ingredients that have gone into this winning streak and getting to 20 wins? Because I think you were sitting maybe 9-11 or so coming out of that non-conference tournament that you had at Wheaton, and all of a sudden you've gone on a bit of a run here.
Yeah, I think, the big thing kind of starting off the bat was just kind of setting the standard with our guys. Just what we do on and off the field, just making sure we're doing it to the best of our ability, giving great energy every time we step on the field, in the classroom, in the community. So that's been a great buy-in from the guys. We have some great senior leaders this year, a couple of which hopefully get honored tonight. But it's been really cool to kind of see the guys come together. Obviously, new staff. There's some things that are different from previous years. So I think it just took a little bit of time for the guys to kind of jive and kind of understand what we're looking for. But once we got that buy-in and hit the conference, guys have been doing a great job. Our pitching staff's kind of led the way for us. Coach Pat Clark has been doing a tremendous job with those guys. And our offense is getting there, hopefully saving our best for the end here.
So we're talking about going down the stretch here. You mentioned the 3-game series with Rival Hope. You got a big one Thursday night at LMCU Ballpark, home of the West Michigan Whitecaps. How exciting is that, not only for you, but for your guys?
It's going to be really cool. I'm really appreciative, of the athletic department, Dr. Timmer, for putting that on for us. Cannot wait to go play over there, especially against Hope, and then honor our seniors in that night as well. I think it's going to be a great, achievement, to kind of honor those guys, send them out the right way to finish their careers.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for stopping by, Joel.
Absolutely.
Joel is my next-door neighbor in the Calvin Athletics department. They are one of my neighbors. And, of course, we had Ellen Barker, who was my other neighbor on the other side, so she was here earlier. So I got my neighbors all filled in, and they're great neighbors. So that's
Appreciate it, Feebas. Thanks
that's
so much.
Right. That was Calvin head baseball coach Joel Skipper. We'll be back with our next interview in just a moment. Okay, Jeff Feebas back here atop Bernard Arena, and directly to my right is Kelvin Jr., Aaron Baker, and then we also have Ava Tatko. Ava, are you junior as well? And
Yes.
Yeah, junior. So they are not only distinguished athletes here, Ava, a member of the cross-country and track and field program, Aaron, part of the volleyball team, and actually did a year with the track and field team. Let's not forget that. But they are Goldwater Scholars. So tell us a little bit about what being a Goldwater Scholar is. That award just came out just over a week ago, if I remember correctly.
So, Goldwater Scholar is an acknowledgement for undergraduate students who have done research and are looking to go to grad school to do further work on their undergraduate research.
There we go. So let's talk a little bit about your research. So Aaron, tell us a little bit about what you're doing, and then Ava, you can tell us a little bit about your academic field and some of the research that you have done as student athletes.
Yeah, for sure. So I worked in the same lab for the past 2 summers, and then I'm working on continuing that work this summer. So I work in inorganic chemistry, and basically the main thing that our lab does is we characterize complicated chemical solutions. So we basically have one solution that we slowly add to another solution, and then we figure out all the different kinds of assemblies that form, and we learn some really cool structures. We sometimes work to tailor certain systems so we can make certain structures like cubes or squares, things like that. And it's really fun. We get to play with a lot of fun colors. So, yeah.
Cool. So, Ava?
I'm studying engineering, so I've been working with Julie Wiltzke in the engineering department doing chlorination for small-scale rural water system design. So we partner with rural communities in the Andean Mountains in Ecuador to design chlorination systems so that they can have treated water. A lot of their water systems have piping already installed, but they're just drinking water from the stream. So we design, and then I went down to personally install some of my designs for adding chlorine tablet and liquid chlorine solutions.
And what country was that in again?
in Ecuador.
In Ecuador. There you go. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the athletic side. So, Aaron, part of the women's volleyball team. Just over a year ago, you guys got to go to Italy on a trip, and we really haven't had a chance to talk too much about that. So tell us about that trip and then just being a member of this tradition-rich Calvin women's volleyball program.
Yeah, I mean, being on the Calvin women's volleyball team has been such an honor for me. It's been such a great experience. And Italy last summer was a really good time to just team bond and just spend a lot of time together with a group that we're already super close, but it was just really fun to be able to explore a new country and go on a bunch of different adventures, see a lot of new different sites, learn about the rich history of all the different cities we went to in Europe. And yeah, just spent a lot of time together with us and then the parents and other donors that went along. So it was a great experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Ava, cross country this year, you guys won the outright MIAA title on the women's side. I think it was for the first time since 2014. And then going on to nationals and doing extremely well. Well, did very well at regionals too. This Calvin women's cross country program has got a little bit of extra boost going right now. What can you tell us about the team and where it's going?
I think that we have clicked really well in the past couple years working together. Cross country may seem like a fairly individual sport because when you're in the race it can be very isolating, but one of the things that our coaches have really prioritized is working together and building off of having similar training programs, and you train with the same people, and then the goal then is to race with them. So I think that increased team aspect has definitely helped in our competitive field.
Yeah, well, in indoor track, I think that was the one that you guys hadn't won since 2014 and won that this past March 1. So what was that like? And give us a little bit of a sneak peek about the outdoor track championships coming up this week.
Yeah, winning indoor track was huge. We had watched my freshman and sophomore years, the other teams absolutely destroying us in indoor, and so it was a lot of fun to come back. And the whole meet for indoor, it was really close between first and second and third, and so there was a lot of uncertainty about where Calvin would end up. So here's hoping that a similar thing happens for outdoor later this week.
Cool. Aaron, let's give you a quick chance to talk about Calvin women's volleyball this upcoming fall. I know you guys have been going through the non-traditional spring practices. What can we expect for this upcoming season?
Yeah, so spring's been fantastic. We've had all our 24 practices, and I think the biggest thing that I've seen is us getting stronger through our lifting. I think that really helps, and we can see it during practice. Every week we improve, we're hitting stronger, and we're moving faster and better, and we're just more balanced. And just being able to have the spring practices allows us to really increase our cohesion as a team and kind of work together on some more small skills.
Yeah.
And the technique stuff that we don't get to work on as much during regular season when we're working more on scrimmaging and playing.
Right.
So it's been really good, and I'm really excited.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
Well, coming up end of August, we'll be kicking off that fall campaign with volleyball. Got some exciting track and field coming up here over the next handful of weeks too. Aaron Baker, Ava Tadko, thanks for stopping by, and enjoy the rest of the night.
Me too.
All righty.
Thank you.
With our next interview. Jeff Feebas back here at Venord Arena, a home that Coach Mark Krishnner, head coach of the Calvin women's basketball team, works inside of during the fall, winter, and now the spring months as they went to the NCAA tournament this year for the first time since 2015. Mark, if you had a chance to sit back and reflect just a little bit about this season that was very exciting and finished with a big rush.
We had a great finish, and it was fun. It has been fun to reflect, and you get through your individual meetings with your players, and it's been fun to see them continue to do their work in the weight room with Henry and on the court with each other. It's fun to see them around, and I know there's probably a little whetting of the appetite to try to do a little bit more. So spring generally goes a little fast in terms of running to spring break and then come back, and it feels like an avalanche downhill to the end of the year with exams and Easter fitting in there. But it's been a really good spring for our group, and it has been fun to reflect. It's nice to see the trophy in the office and the net, and as a reminder, you still have more work to do.
Yeah. Well, your program probably has one of the lead monikers of most injured at times over the last year or so. But I say that to just kind of set the stage on how your team kind of found a way to navigate through some adversity really over the last couple of years. And some new players have stepped up. You got a few people back from injury. Of course, you're hoping to get a few other people back from injury next year. But just take us through a little bit of that, of just navigating through those choppy waters at times, and then going on to have a really nice run at the end of this season.
Injuries are an unfortunate part of the game, and as a coach, you plan. It's our job as a staff to have a 30,000-foot view over the top of everything. And while you don't want to plan on those types of things, and to the extent that we had, the opportunity for younger players to step into some new roles and to grow in those roles was really fun to see. We've talked a lot about our connective tissue with relationships with our players and how they relate to one another. And I think their trust in each other, their trust in our staff, was really neat to see. And I think when you do have some, oh man, here we go again, we tried not to do that. We just tried to have a next player up mentality. Our group did an awesome job of that. And it was fun to see some younger people really step into some roles, and some older people have to adjust just a little bit. And all the while, the people that were unable to play were so intentional about being around our team and supporting those who were playing. It was a pretty remarkable thing to see, to be quite honest.
So the MIAA tournament, you beat Adrian in a tough one in the first round, and then you end, I think it was a 20-game losing streak to Hope.
Is it that long?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's
Probably.
an outstanding program, obviously, over there, but that makes it even more meaningful when you beat them. And then the very next night, you beat Trine on their home floor, who went on to the NCAA tournament as well this year again. And you get those two back-to-back wins in a span of about 24 hours. That had to be a rush of emotion.
It was a remarkable feeling, and it was really cool to see our players celebrate.
Yeah.
And we've put a lot of effort into trying to catch those two over the last few years, and to have it culminate in that tournament win, to be able to cut the net down together and come back from Angola on that night, and knowing that we're in the tournament, and to be quite honest, probably knowing that we kept in part Hope out of the tournament, just adds a little bit more to the rivalry. We've always said it's kind of on us to make it a little bit more of a rivalry than it had been. I know that we have gotten closer to beating them, and to get over that hump was really neat for our group. They desperately wanted to do that. Not to say that people before didn't either. It's just, sometimes it's how that links up. And then, the springboard to then on Saturday beating a high-quality Trine team at their home floor, certainly a highlight that we'll remember for a long time.
Absolutely. Well, quickly, you're not shy about scheduling these tough opponents. Give us a sneak peek at next year, because I think you're going out to Maine, and you're telling me about some of the opponents that you're playing, and I think like 4 of them were in the NCAA tournament and 3 of them in the Sweet 16 or further.
Yeah, we it's pretty exciting. We'll play some. We're working our way through the WIAC, so we'll play River Falls and Lacrosse next year to open. Two up-and-coming programs. Lacrosse did make the tournament, and they beat Colorado College, who we will play the following week here. We host a classic with Ohio Wesleyan and Colorado College, 2 NCAA tournament teams. We have the University of Chicago returning to our schedule, which will be really fun. We do have a trip to Bowdoin, then a perennial NESCAC Power, just 2 hours north of Boston. So that's where we will be post-Christmas. I don't know who all will be there, but it'll be fun to go see a new part of the country. So one of the cool things about this trip for our juniors, then as freshmen, they went to Oregon.
Yeah.
And then now they'll go to Maine, so they'll hit both coasts in their time.
That's pretty cool. Well, Mark, a lot of fun working with you, and it was a lot of fun following your team. We're looking forward to next season already.
Yeah, we are too. It's a great spot to be, and we love working with you and the good folks here at Calvin. So go Knights.
Go Knights. Okay, Jeff Feebas back here, high atop Bernard Arena, and just to my right is Sydney Sunday, and next to her is Dave Bajwa, the Kelvin men's, women's swimming and diving programs, and what an amazing run these two have been a part of over the last 4 years. Sydney, I know you've gone to nationals 4 straight years, and then Dave, you got to nationals here the last couple and did some big damage. Maybe just first, both of you talk a little bit about what it's been like to be a part of Kelvin swimming and diving over the last 4 years. I know you've had different journeys and all that type of thing to get here, but just your experiences as you reflect on your careers.
I mean, I thought it was a great experience. I came here mostly for the team. Swimming isn't like one of my biggest passions, but I loved competing and I loved bonding with the team. Obviously, to compete at NCAAs is a great honor, and I had a lot of fun doing that. But yeah, I think for me, like developing that kind of bond and being able to do it at a school like this was probably the highlight of my career.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit different for me. I came here for the engineering program and the swim team. I actually I think the only time I met Dan was during COVID for like 5 minutes or something. And then I committed to Calvin, and I got a lot more than I was expecting, and it was better than I could have hoped. So it's just been awesome to like be at a place where I could grow and develop as much as I did.
So we'll keep it with you, Dave, here just for a minute. You had the opportunity to live overseas in Europe. I wrote a story on you there, and you're telling me about open water swimming in the Danube, and you did some swimming, or fin swimming. There we go, fin swimming. Talk a little bit about how the fin swimming and open water swimming helped you develop a little bit in what you're doing today here, because you got some pretty good underwater ability there, and you don't get the actual fins, but you work on the leg and foot power.
Yeah, so open water swimming, when I was younger, I just liked to grind yardage and swim a ton. And so that became sort of a passion of mine. After I left Austria, I kept doing open water swimming, but it started there. With fin swimming, that was something I did on the side with open water. So I was part of an open water club team in Austria, and then I did fin swimming just to sort of stay in a pool and do something there. That definitely helped my underwaters, at least probably my flexibility and stuff. I don't know. It was a while ago. I am very good with fins to this day, though, so I think that was at least part of it.
Cool. All right, so Sydney, tell us a little bit about, I don't know if the pickleball thing is still on the docket here. Last we talked, you were talking about giving pickleball a whirl. I know that's a big passion of yours, so give us the latest on that.
The latest on that is I'm doing that pro next year, and I'm going to give it some time to see how successful I am. And then if I'm not, I'll either go forward in like a teaching route or I'll go forward in like a different career. Yes, definitely it is a passion of mine. So I'm going to go forward with that as long as I can. So I'm just like training a bunch right now, and I'll take it more seriously after graduation. But yeah, that is still the plan, and I'm super excited to do that.
And I think you're biochemistry and computer science of some sort. So what's that been like for a double major? That's not the easiest academic fare, and you've been able to get on the dean's list doing all of that.
Yeah, I would say that it's not that easy. Usually people have pretty wide eyes when I tell them what my majors are, and especially like doing that with swimming. I won't say that it was easy. I don't think it wasn't as hard as people think that it probably was, but definitely I had a pretty busy 4 years here. But it was like really gratifying, and like I'm really glad that I got both of those majors. And I mean, even though I'm not really going to use them and I'm going to do pickleball instead, I'm still glad that like I got that knowledge here.
Yeah, I think you'll use them more than you think down the road. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, so let's move it back to Dave just to finish up. Engineering major, you just had your senior design day this past Saturday. Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing on the engineering side and what your senior design project was like.
Yeah, so we designed a system that removes toxic air basically from our gutter in the pool. And it originated, all 4 of the senior design team members, me, Anthony Crudell, Jack Kulaga, and Ethan Wayne. All of us were on the swim team, so we knew the problem was a very present one, and we just started with the problem and we reasoned to how we were going to fix that. And we had great success. We when we turned our system on, we saw a huge drop in the amount of toxic air. And it's something that the swimmers who were swimming in the pool at the time could definitely feel. They absolutely love it. So we hope that we're able to help them perform better in future generations.
And your plans after graduation here?
I'm going to stay in Grand Rapids and find a job. Probably something to do with engineering, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Well, it's been fun watching both of these swimmers here compete over the last 4 years or so. Sydney Sunday to my right, Dave Bajwa right there. And they've had a lot of success. And thanks for stopping by. Really appreciate it. All right. Thank you. Okay, Jeff Feebas back here with Kelvin head football coach Trent Fig. And coach, just getting the first season of competition underway. What was it like in your estimation as you kind of reflect on this first year of competition for Kelvin football?
Yeah, so we had the youngest roster in America, which at times that showed, but unbelievably proud of our guys and the way that they responded week in and week out. We've had really good retention from the fall to now through spring ball, going into next fall, so I'm excited about this group and where they're at right now. We had a great spring session that we just finished up last week, and our guys are ready. I mean, we'll be very experienced next year, still be really young, but bring back a ton of experience, and that's something we're really excited about.
Well, I just had some folks asking me last night about Kelvin football, and I was kind of bringing them through this fall season. You were 2-8, but you won the 2 games, but there were several other games. You're right in the thick of it going into the heart of the fourth quarter there. I mean, really maybe only 2 games where games got a little away from you, and you're playing really, really tough opponents in those games. Just talk a little bit about the fight and the conviction that your guys had. I mean, they gave it everything.
Yeah, coming into the fall, I think our guys a little bit didn't know what to expect because they'd never played in a college football game before. And so, you look at those games that were close. We'd never been in close games because we'd never been in a single game before. And so learning how to win is a real skill that you have to do. And that's something that, we're really hoping we can take that next step this year. In those close games, we can come out on the other side of it because there were, 4 games that were within 1 score.
That's right.
And, it was back and forth and back and forth, and at the end we didn't win on the scoreboard, which obviously that means we didn't win the game. But our guys are really excited to go finish those games. We've talked a ton about what finish looks like, and so that'll be the next step for our program.
So one of the individuals who is up nominated tonight is a grad transfer that you had this year, Chase Bradman, who was your quarterback this year. Talk a little bit about him because he had a couple of really big performances and really just a steady, strong performance all throughout the year and put up some numbers. We're just putting our first record book together. Those are going to be high numbers that will be tough to top for a while.
Yeah, no, Chase did an unbelievable job for us. I met with both of our quarterbacks, one today and one late last week, and we talked about, Chase did a phenomenal job for us. I think people take what Chase did for granted. He went in there with a freshman offensive line. Those offensive linemen were they were battling, but Chase took some hits. Chase is he's an absolute warrior, and what he did was he set an example for the rest of Calvin football, what it means to compete, what it means to fight. Because you could not drag him off the field. He was all in for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and then talk a little bit about the rest of your seniors, some of which were guys that were on campus when you came in January there of 2023, and like a Paul Vanderplug who joined, and Marcus Brucker and that type of thing, and then some other guys that joined along the way. They really kind of helped set this foundation.
Those guys, man, I'll forever be grateful for those guys because of what they did. They came in and they took a chance. They took a leap of faith on Calvin football and did a phenomenal job week in and week out. They prepared, they battled. They set a great example for our young guys of what it means to compete in the classroom, what it means to compete on the field. Those guys did everything we asked them to do.
So you just went through a series of spring practices. Tell us a little bit about spring ball and what you saw out there.
Yeah, so the spring ball was really the first normal thing we've done as a program. We had a full team go through a full off season and then do spring ball, which was great. So what we saw was a ton of competition. We have offensive linemen that gained 45, 50 pounds from the end of the season till spring ball, and it was really like watching an entire new team. It was a lot of the same bodies, but man, these guys are starting to grow up, and it's really exciting to see them compete. There's some real position battles going on right now. And our guys showed up ready to. I mean, these guys are hungry.
Yeah. So next year, 5 home games, and we'll be getting out some information in the next week or so on where those games will be played. Kind of exciting news. And just your thoughts on next season.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are hungry.
For sure.
And there's some fun games on the schedule next year.
You know, I've talked to our players a ton here recently about the target on our back is growing bigger with every day that passes right now. And so, you know, I think a lot of people look at last year and they see, you know, there were several close games, and I've even heard people say like, oh, you'll probably win those games. And it's like, no, we have to go take it, right? Our players have to learn. We have to learn as a program what it means to go finish a game. And so I'm excited. I think we have a great schedule. There's some great teams on our schedule, but I'm excited to take a team out there on the field that has played in games before, and they understand exactly what the expectation is.
Sure. Well, we were just talking, the NFL draft just took place this past week, and boy, there was a lot of roller coaster moments there. It always is. And, you know, your good friend Dan Lanning, where you had worked for a year, is out of Oregon. I think they just had a record 8 Ducks draft or 10. Okay, there you go.
10, yep.
So just your thoughts on the draft in general, and maybe, you know, some of those guys that you know a little bit personally that did get drafted.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, draft day for guys to get drafted, it changes their life. It changes their families' lives, and it's so cool to watch the emotion of those guys whenever they get drafted. And, you know, I was fortunate to work with a few of those different guys. You know,
got Bo
at
Nix
different
out in
places.
Denver
Yeah,
there.
Bo's out in Denver, and, you know, Troy Franklin's in Denver, and then Tez, you know, went to Tampa Bay, and Dylan Gabriel went to Cleveland, you know, a bunch of those guys. And it's just fun to see them put in so much work, and then all that work pays off for that, you know. So, yeah, it was a program high, 10 kids drafted. In the 3 years he's been there, they've had 24 drafted, which is a, you know, program record over a 3-year span. They've done a, you know, great job there.
Absolutely. Well, I'll say this. I think you've done a great job here at Calvin University building this football program up, and we are really looking forward to next fall. It's going to be a lot of fun.
We're really excited.
All right, that's Calvin head football coach Trent Figg. We'll be back in just a moment. Thank you. Jeff Feebas here, high top of Nord Arena, joined by Calvin head men's soccer coach Ryan Souders, who's got a tire that Arsene Wenger would be proud of here. Let me tell you, he's got the Calvin blazer here with the patch and the colors and all that type of thing. It's great to have you here, Ryan.
Jeff, great to be here. One of the best nights, pun very much intended, of the athletic year, and really great to look back and celebrate the year that has been here in Calvin Athletics.
Yeah, well, let's just talk a little bit about your soccer team this past fall. You had graduated quite a few people and had some experience back, but you had to integrate some newcomers and that type of thing, and you kind of got hot in that back stretch of the year and went on to win the MIAA tournament to get into the NCAA tournament. How would you describe this past fall?
Yeah, it was a unique year. You know, as you alluded to, we graduated a ton of talent and experience the year prior. And so we returned what we felt was like a really good core of upper-class leaders, but brought in a group of young guys that we were really excited about, but had zero college experience. Yeah. And I think we felt that this season, right? I think some really good results in the non-con, some really tough results in the non-con, also in the conference. But I think, through that, like our group was pretty committed, and that's a credit to our seniors in particular that I think really just kept us tight, and we're really able to go on a pretty special run at the end of the year. To win 2 conference tournament games on the road was massive.
Yeah.
Get another bid to the NCAA tournament was awesome, and I think our seniors leave maybe a different legacy than other classes have, but I really think this was just such a pivotal year for us, and leaves us ready moving forward with still a pretty young group.
Well, we're talking about pivotal things. The stadium opening this year. I mean, you played on the pitch the previous fall, the turf was down, and then everything starts getting built up, but the stadium is fully functional by early October of this year, and you have that beautiful locker room to go with it. Just tell us about how that's been a game changer for the program.
Yeah, it's the best facility in the country, certainly at our level, bar none. And to be able to utilize that day in and day out is just massive. Certainly, we're hoping from a recruiting perspective, come and play in front of 3,000 people is a lot of fun. But really, our guys having their own third space.
Yeah.
To be able to come in, we've got a locker room now where guys can study in it. They can listen to music. They can eat a pregame meal, grab a snack. It just really differentiates us from so many of our competitors. And we really felt this past season, some of our late success was alluded to that stadium, right?
Absolutely.
As guys getting in it, being around each other. I think it's incredible.
And the fans filled it, too.
Oh, man, unbelievable. Best fans in the country. Happy to finally have this facility for our athletes, certainly, but for Knight Nation.
That's right.
Right? I think as our alumni group continues to back us, our parents, the local community, an unbelievable place to watch a game. So, fortunately, that's not going anywhere. We've got a really good group. We're excited about this next year with some talented newcomers, we believe. An unbelievable place to watch a game, and we'd love to see people out at Zidema Field next fall to watch some soccer.
And then give us a sneak peek at the schedule next year, games that, the Knight Nation folks might want to look forward to catch.
Yeah, so we're pretty excited. Opening weekend, we'll be hosting our good friends from Delaware, Ohio, the Battling Bishops of Ohio Wesleyan. Obviously, a new head coach. Head coach Jay Martin has retired after a lengthy and just illustrious career for him down there.
Yeah.
We've got other non-con games. We'll head to Lake Forest and play them. We've got some return trips. We'll introduce Oberlin to our schedule this year for the first time in a few years, and then we'll head into the even more difficult MIAA. So a couple new coaches in the league this year. Obviously, Trine and Hope will be excellent atop the league as they were this past year. Kalamazoo with the new coach, new energy, and Alma with new facilities, Adrian with a third-year coach. The league really proves to be, we would imagine, as difficult as it has been in my time here.
Yeah, well, and then I can't forget to mention, Ryan and I are big Gooners here, big Arsenal fans. Yesterday, the Arsenal women go on to the Champions League final.
Correct,
they defeat Olympic Lyon and move on. So now tomorrow, I'm getting nervous already. It's the first leg of that semifinal tie. Arsenal men against PSG. It'll be in London at the Emirates. You were just at the Emirates a year and a half ago, too, along with a bunch of other places on your soccer tour. Just your thoughts on what's coming up here for the Gunners.
Jeff, I kind of thought Arsenal and Champions League was like Fight Club. Rule number one is you don't talk about Arsenal and Champions League, but here we are. My hope is the women have set the stage. You beat one French team to get to the finals here in Olympic Lyon. My hope is the men can do the same against PSG. I think the road fixture is going to be massive. We'll be down some numbers. Obviously, the yellows in the quarters hurt us, but I'm hoping set pieces see us through. Some stout defending. Maybe Declan Rice gets a set piece, gets us on the board. Who knows? The at Saka, we can steal one, and man, if we can get back to the Emirates level or certainly up one, man, I'd love a date in the final. But let's try and take care of business tomorrow.
Well, I can tell you there's not a ton of Arsenal fans in the CMS family, so that group chat, whenever the Gunners win, you definitely get the bragging rights, which is a good thing.
Blows it up. A lot of Liverpool fans, especially in light of them winning the league yesterday.
Congrats to them.
Too many loud, obnoxious, Manchester United fans. For those of you not familiar with soccer, it's like your Lakers, Duke basketball, Dallas Cowboy fans. So we've got some of those. But, man, to see Arsenal through to the final, it would have been, 19 years since the last time. And
2006.
It would be really exciting. And Jeff and I will be heart-pounding, watching along, texting each other furiously, I'm sure.
That's right. Well, it's been a lot of fun watching your program, and we're looking forward to next year. And just being a part of that new stadium and everything that goes with Kelvin men's soccer and Kelvin women's soccer for that matter too. Thanks
Absolutely.
for stopping by.
Jeff, thanks so much. Go Night Nation.
Go Knights.
Welcome. Welcome to the, this is on, there we go. Welcome to the 12th Annual C Club Awards. My name is Dr. Jim Timmer. I'm the athletic director here, and it is a pleasure to be with you. And we're going to have a good time tonight celebrating each other, and this is my favorite, one of my favorite events of the year. This is the only time, somebody just mentioned to me, this is the only time this group of athletes have been in the room all together. We split up the all-athlete meeting. We did it a lot of different ways for some of the stuff that we do together. So it is amazing to see this many student athletes representing our teams here tonight. And I am speaking for all the coaches and for all the athletic administrators that we're humbled to honor you tonight. So just a few introductory comments before we get going. I always worry on this night that there'll be interdepartmental rivalry, and I know that maybe I'm getting old and saying, hey, Timmer, don't worry about it. My thing is this: there are so many of you working so hard and toiling at 6 in the morning, at 10 o'clock at night, doing the time management stuff. We're going to honor some people for performances. It may run through your mind that you say, you know what, but I did this, or I did that, or my teammate did this, or our team did that. And I'm here to tell you, congratulations. I mean, so many wonderful, wonderful performances. We can't pick them out all because you all have to, we want to keep this at an hour. So with that attitude, hopefully you can celebrate other teams and other accomplishments and recognize that you're part of something bigger than yourselves. I don't want to do a long lecture on this. The last little point on this: this year you're going to see some, we decided to put everything in the one academic year. Now, we've been doing it a little different the last couple years. So some of the accomplishments in 24, spring of 24, and I'll mention some of them. I won't mention all of them here because we're going to kind of move on from there. Most of the performances we're going to honor are things from this year up to today. So, for example, men's lacrosse had a tremendous year last year, good year this year, but last year, a tremendous year. They would have been up for an award. We have said, no, we're not. We're going to move forward from that. Women's softball, our only women's softball, 32 wins last year, great run in the NCAA. And you can clap for these things. There you go. Some really tremendous individual efforts in track and field in the spring, some golf. I mean, some really good stuff last spring. Now, we'll honor you in a way that you'll see your all-conference and your all-academic awards. We still want to honor that, but the kind of the awards that we bring people up here for, they're going to be from August 30 to April 26. And if you did something in that time frame. And I think it makes it, like take baseball, right? Patrick Gillen, he's doing a wonderful job. Yeah, you can give him a round of applause. Yeah. So he set all kinds of records last year. He's not with us to honor him. It's like, so I hope that you understand, and we'll try to make that more clear as we go on. So the last thing before we kind of get to the bulk of the show is this. I want to thank all the people who make Calvin Athletics work. And I'm not going to do it individually. We'd be here too long. But I'm going to do it in groups. So I want you to give a big hand to our sports medicine folks. And you all know all the work they put into it. The athletic administration facilities, the Justins and the Jasons and their work group, they do a wonderful job. Do your laundry, right? They do laundry, and they set the gym up. You think about our sports information, media relations, Bree and Feebas and Mike and all their student workers, all the work they do. The office folks, Jody and Natalie, and all the athletic administrators, Coach Hilgard and Coach Warners, give them a great round of applause. And, we could go on. Our physical plant, Sandy, who cleans everything, cleans your locker rooms, which are a mess, by the way. So, if you see them, drop them a note of thank you. Give them a knuckle bump. I'm telling you, gratitude is the great antidote to pride, and I think it's a good habit to get into to thank those people. All right, so 2024-2025 athletic year. Some tremendous, I'm going to switch mics here. Are we good? Can't see us? Can't see me? All right, here we go. Some tremendous performances that I go to a lot of events. I watch a lot of the events when I can't be there. And I can't see this above me, so I'll know by your reaction that I'm way off. But, I think of a Sophie Bowl. I don't, right? some tremendous stuff. How about starting a football program and winning 50-6 in the very first football game? There we go. Things like women's golf shooting their all-time low score. And how about Chandler with one of the all-time lowest scoring averages? How about women's soccer just collecting trophies like it's nobody's business? Men's soccer with the first time a team ever went on the road and won an MIAA championship. How about our cross-country programs in the fall? Tremendous. Tremendous. Regional champs for the first time in a long time. How about men's basketball, 1-5, and then won 20 in a row? How about women's basketball coming back and beating Hope and Trine in the same weekend for an MIAA championship? See anything here. Again, how about NCAA swimming and MIAA swimming for that whole group? How about the hockeys overcoming a lot of adversity? And I want to pause, and there's more, and we're going to get to some of those as we get through the evening. The spring sports are still writing their story, and I can't wait to see where some of those stories go. And so we'll talk a little bit about that as the evening goes. But when we talk about hockey, we cannot move forward this evening without talking about the loss of Coach Mike Petruzma. Many of you maybe not know him or know our coaching staff. And by the way, I'm sorry, before I even say to Mike, we forgot to thank our coaches and assistant coaches. Give them a big round of applause. Blood, sweat, and tears. I see the labor they put into it. It is amazing. I say to my wife all the time, like, man, I can't believe I used to coach, because they put in an unbelievable amount of time and worry about you like you're their children. So the coaches have. But that brings me back to Mike. Coach Petruzma, Truzy, Mike, I knew him when I was 18 years old. I remember when he was the women's soccer coach here at Calvin. I would direct you to our website to read his story, his love for Calvin University. The good Lord took a warrior home too soon. But Mike took a hockey program that was about funded for $5,000, and that's it. They had to come up with everything else, selling tickets, doing nights at restaurants, taking vans everywhere. Won a national championship in 2005, added D1 hockey, and did it without any fanfare. Did it with a love for his student athletes, the guys that play for him from now 30 some odd, 28 years as the head coach, over 521 victories, would tell you, I loved dealing with Mike because he never judged. He always tried to help. Now, he'd correct you, but he would always call me. I'd get a call from him. Not saying the hockey guys get in trouble once in a while, but maybe they get in trouble once in a while. And he'd say, hey, Timmer, I got to talk to you. I say, what's up, Mike? He goes, well, the boys, he's calling them the boys, probably didn't make the greatest decision as they should have. But Timmer, I love them. I'm going to work with them. And if you just summarize Mike Petruzma, I love him and I'm going to work with him, was just, you could put that in a t-shirt and say, that's what we want at Calvin and our coaches. There is not a coach in here, a student athlete in here is perfect. And I think, man, what an attitude. Hey, we love you and we'll work with you. We'll work through adversity and we'll celebrate you. And when his teams won, when they did something spectacular, Mike was the first one to go like this. Back up and just put his team forward. And he said, wow, I'm not a very good coach, but man, they really played hard. They really like each other. And that's all he would say. We're excited that his son Josh is gonna going to try to keep that legacy going. So he would be embarrassed by this. He would not want us, to do a moment of silence because we've done all that. We've done that morning. But this year's academic athletic year couldn't have gone without talking about that. So we're a little bit behind time. So let's give him a round of applause and give the hockey team a round of applause. All right. Every year I try to get you to know our staff a little bit. Our coaching staff. So we're going to play a little game. It's a silly little game, but humor me. We're going to try to guess what year. So go ahead, throw that stuff up there. The average guy's passing price 62 cents. 68, I can't read. What was the top movie? Sam, you got to make this bigger for me. Tonight the Night by Rod Stewart. What year? $19.79. There you go. I can see it. All right. Price of gas, $1.13. Top movie, Aladdin. Top song, End of the Road, Boyz II Men. Good song. Coach Ellen Barker was born. 1992. Average price of gas, 33 cents. Top movie, The Graduate. Top song, To Serve With Love by Lulu. Coach Bergsma was born. Coach Bergsma, I heard 1940. 1940, I heard. There's a few of us born around that time. 93 cents, Top Gun, the first one. That's what friends are for, Dionne Warwick. Coach Emily Odenhoff. Go ahead. 1987, sorry, we got that wrong. All right. So every year we start this, and 12 years ago, when we started this kind of year-end video, it was a few still photos set to Aerosmith's Dream On off of Mac iMovie, produced by me. It was terrible. Josh Moyer has been doing this for men's lacrosse for about 4 years. I think he's hit a home run. He's tried to capture what it means to be a Calvin athlete in this video. And after this video, we'll go ahead and start the awards. So go ahead.
Some people say it's just a game. But to us, it's more than just a game. To us, it's everything. It was about the early mornings, the ones where the sun wasn't even up yet. But we were. Lacing up cleats, taping wrists, stepping onto cold fields and empty gyms, with tired eyes and full hearts, dreaming of hitting that game-winning point against our biggest rival. It was about the moments no one saw, the grind behind closed doors, the physical therapy sessions, the missed parties, the late nights on the bus after a tough loss, sitting in silence, watching the headlights of cars going by, just trying to make sense of it all. But it was also about the people, the teammates who became family, the coaches who pushed us harder than we thought we could ever go, because they saw something in us we hadn't seen yet. The trainers, the staff, the fans in the stands, every single person who stood beside us in our biggest wins and our most heartbreaking losses. In the snow, rain, or even hail. It was about the bus rides, the laughter, the inside jokes, the music that played way too loud, the feeling of running onto that field together shoulder to shoulder, no matter who we were playing or what the outcome would be. It was about sacrifice, growth, learning what it means to show up for something bigger than yourself. And yeah, It was about the game, too. The thrill, the nerves, the joy of a clutch play and hearing the sounds of the stands erupt, and the heartbreak of falling short. That fire in your chest when you hear your name, when you wear that jersey and you realize this moment might be the last time. Because eventually, the clock runs out, the uniform gets folded for the last time, and we all go our separate ways. But what we carry with us, that lasts forever. We carry the discipline, the grit, the friendships, the pride of knowing we gave it everything we had. So to everyone who was part of this story this year, thank you. Thank you for believing, for fighting, for caring enough to make it hurt sometimes. This was never just about the sport. This was about who we became because of it. And honestly, I would do it all over again.
How much can I be expected to tolerate? So I started to think about the plans I made the day unpaid, and you just can't call a spade a spade. I watched the moves, let it run my mood.
Jefferson shakes and Jair Knight creates space and falls away with 10
We started off in such a nice place. We were talking the same language. I open and I'm closing. You can't stand the thought of a real beating heart. You'd be holding, having trouble owning and admit that I am hoping. Can't stop thinking of
Austin down the right side with Hogan. He's got it at the bottom. He's in. And he's into the end zone for a touchdown.
so nice to know you. I'll be moving on, moving always know the truth, but I can't just say it to you. Yeah, I know the truth. Yeah, I always know the truth, but I can't just say it to you.
This is how it'll go. We'll do about 3 or 4 awards. We'll show you another video. 3 or 4 awards, show you another video. The award winners, we want you to come up. You'll get a picture. She'll give you a thumbs up, and you'll head back to your seat. So here we go. The first presenters, and they'll tell you the award, are from our volleyball program, Avery Ekins, and from our basketball team, Luca Ressler.
Men's Outstanding Performance of the Year. This award recognizes performances that are above and beyond the expectations set by the coach, the the event, or by the individual. This year's nominees are Chase Bradman, football; Nolan Coyle, baseball; Dane Harvey, men's basketball; and Colin Neuenhuis, men's soccer.
And the winner is Nolan Coyle, baseball.
So Nolan is being honored for his 22 straight innings to start MIAA play. One of the best performance of recent memory in baseball. 22 scoreless innings. Give Nolan a hand. Our next presenters from the women's soccer team, Ellie Farrell, and from the men's golf team, Jack Marzlino.
Women's Outstanding Performance of the Year. This award recognizes performances that are above and beyond the expectations set by the coach, the event, or by the individual.
The nominees are Megan Chang, women's lacrosse; Avery Ekins, women's volleyball; Anna Fernandez, women's basketball; Brooke Hunderman, softball; Hannah Saul, women's basketball.
And the award goes to Hannah Saul, women's basketball.
So Hannah's being recognized. That's a long walk. Hannah's being recognized for averaging 20 points, 8 rebounds, 8 blocks in the MIAA tournament to propel the team to the NCAA. So she gets it. Congratulations, Hannah. The next award is for record-breaking performances, and there were plenty. We tried to narrow them down a little bit. The presenter for this award is from our baseball team, Ben Ferguson. Oh, wrong award, wrong award, wrong award. I'm sorry. The next award is the Female Breakthrough Team of the Year. The presenters are Emma Merkel from swimming and Nicholas Hens from cross-country track and all things running.
Female Breakthrough Team of the Year. This award recognizes the team that significantly exceeded internal and external expectations.
And the nominees are women's basketball, women's indoor track and field, and women's lacrosse.
And the award goes to women's basketball.
Come on up, ladies. In a field of absolutely outstanding performances, women's lacrosse still playing after being picked lower and competing for the championship. Women's indoor track with a championship this past year. But the award goes to women's basketball. They were picked, I think, 5th in their preseason poll and beat Hope in Shrine in back-to-back nights to go to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2015 and 16 and ending a 10-year drought. Ladies and gentlemen, women's basketball. Don't fall. All right, here we go. So as they're moving off stage, congratulations to women's basketball. The next award is for male record-breaking performances, either career records, and we'll talk about that. And again, as soon as they get off stage, that's all right. Our presenter will be Ben Ferguson from baseball.
For male record-breaking performance, this award recognizes exceptional record-breaking performances in an event, season, or career. The nominees are David Bajwa in the 100 fly and 100 free, Chana for career steals, men's indoor track, the 4x400 team, Charles Platt in the 100 back, Thomas Smith for career goals, men's swimming and diving relay teams, and Kobe Vanderwood in the 60-meter and 200-meter. And the award goes to Kobe Vanderwood, men's track and field.
So many outstanding performances for record-breaking. Kobe breaking some really old records in the 60 and the 200. Still going this year, going to get a championship. Final award in this first section is the Female Role Player of the Year. And our presenter from women's basketball is Sophie Cincinnati.
Female Role Player of the Year. This award recognizes exceptional performances in a supporting or off-the-bench role. And our nominees are Aaliyah Agar, women's cross country; Andrea Deemer, women's golf; Catherine Grissom, women's tennis; Gabby Hollowell, women's basketball; Zoe Hazelhoff, softball; and Jasmine Naminga, women's volleyball. And this award goes to Catherine Grissom, women's tennis.
Not only did Catherine is having a great year in playing third singles and I think second doubles, but in a year of transition in tennis coaches, Catherine stepped up huge as a leader, so congratulations, Catherine. All right, so now one little thing before we move on to the next video. This is where I want you to think back to last spring. Okay, so last spring. This is the only time we're going to talk about last spring. But we want to honor those people who were all league, academic, all district, all those awards. And so we're going to make sure, we're going to try that. We think we have everybody up on the PowerPoint. If we don't, I'm going to apologize in advance. So if you won any of these awards, stand up even if you don't see your name. Last spring now, if you were a player of the week, runner of the week, athlete of the week, whatever, please stand up. If you were academic all district, please stand up. See if you've got any names there. How about this one? If you were academic All-American, please stand up. Do we have any of those in the spring? Outstanding. If you were all MIAA second team, please stand up. All MIAA first team, please stand up for the spring. I want you to know this is amazing. There's other schools in our league, not to name them, that they would have one person stand up the whole evening. So it's just an abundance of riches here. So we are unbelievable. All region, MIAA MVP, pitcher, thrower, please stand up. All region, please stand up. Do we have any all region folks? And finally, All-American, please stand up if you got that. Congratulations. All right, back by popular demand. Coaches get real nervous about this one, I'll be honest with you. We're gonna look at some videos that you turned in to us. So, here's the beside, this is the real Calvin highlight video. Go ahead.
What's your favorite memory from college athletics? I think my favorite would have to be
I look at my Cartier out of control. Just like my mind wasn't born. No women, no shorties, no nothing but clothes. No stopping at my Pirelli's on. Unlike my theory, that's always on. return to the Mac. Get it what it is, what it does, what it is, what it isn't. Looking for a better way to get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet and checking a new hit. Me get up. First shot, hip strut walking. A little bit of humble, a little bit of cautious. Somewhere between like Rocky and Cosby's for the game. Nope, nope, we all can't copy yet. Glad moonwalking, and this here is our party. Our posse's been on Broadway, and we did it all way. Chrome music. I shed my skin and put my bones into everything I record to it. And yet I'm on. Let that stage light go and shine on down. Got that Bob Barker suit game and Plinko in my style. Money, stay on my craft and stick around for those pounds. But I do that to pass the torch and put on for my town. Trust me, on my INDEPENDENT shit hustling. Chasing dreams since I was 14 with the 4-track bustin'. Halfway across that city with the back crush shit. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give that to the people, spread it across the country. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give it to the people, spread it across the country. Here we go back, this is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Here we go back, this is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Nah, can I kick it? Thank you, yeah. I'm so damn grateful. I grew up really wanna go fronts, but that's what you get when Wu-Tang raised you. Y'all can't stop me. Go hard like I got an 808 in my heartbeat. And I'm eating at the beat like it gave a little speed to a great white shark on shark week. Raw, time to go all gone. Deuces goodbye. I got a world to see. And my girl, she wanna see Rome. Caesar make you a believer. Nah, I never ever did it for a throne. That validation comes from giving it back to the people. Now sing this song and it goes like, raise those hands. This is our party. We came here to live life like nobody was watching. I got my city right behind me. If I fall, they got me. Learn from that failure, gain humility, and then we keep marching. And we go back. This is the moment. Tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over. So we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us.
There you go. No Calvin athletes were hurt in the performance of that video, I'm sure. All right, segment 2. The next award is going to be presented by Mia DeYoung from our women's track and field program.
Male Breakthrough Team of the Year. This award recognizes the team that significantly exceeded internal and external expectations. And the nominees are baseball, football, and men's indoor track and field. And the award goes to baseball.
Slide over, sit down on a knee.
Hey, stand in the middle.
Hey, some people are going to have to go. So, with 1 week to go, a team that got picked 6th to start the year is squarely in second place. They got to win 2 out of 3 this weekend to finish second. The first time we've made the playoffs in 4 or 5 years. So, congratulations to men's baseball 2025. They're going to slide over here.
I guess. No, not good.
Are we good? Hey, let's lock in.
Oh my
Our next presenter, representing the football program, is quarterback Hayden Slagers.
Female record-breaking performance. This award recognizes exceptional record-breaking performances in an event, season, or career. The nominees are Carly Doyle, career triples, Maggie Farrell, school record in 100 fly, 200 IM, and a 50 free, Sydney Radigan, 60 meter, 200 meter, 100 meter, Piper Sadowski, 1650 free, 100 back, 400 IM, 100 IM, and the women's swimming relay teams. And the award goes to Sydney Radigan, women's track and field.
Sydney came to us as a transfer, spending a year with us, has set an indelible mark in the sprints, breaking some long records and we can't wait to see what she does this fall, or spring, excuse me. Congratulations, Sydney. Our next presenters from the tennis program, Tessa Holman and Tanner Warners.
Male Role Player of the Year. This award recognizes exceptional performances in a supporting or off-the-bench role. Stick with me here. Alex DeAngelis, baseball. Colin Neuenhuis, men's soccer. Mario Fish Netto, men's tennis. Parker Swartz, men's basketball. Paul Vanderploeg, football. Jacob Ziegler, men's swimming and diving.
And the award goes to Paul Vanderploeg, football.
Paul was one of the originals. Came to Calvin when we didn't have a football team, and he, in the truest sense of the word, worked his way into the starting lineup on our defense. So one of the originals. Thank you, Paul. All right. Now we're going to go back to fall 2024. I think I'm on the pace here. We're going to go through the same thing we just did for spring. So if you were Player of the Week, Runner of the Week, Specialist of the Week, please stand up from this past fall. If you were Academic All-District this past fall, Academic All-District or All-Region. If you were Academic All-American this past fall, tremendous accomplishment. There we go. All MIAA second team. All MIAA second team. All MIAA first team, please stand. All right, this one's if you were, there's just a few of them here, right? Freshman of the Year, if you were the Zeitem Award winner or sportsmanship, or you were MVP, please stand. you are all region, please stand up. There we go. There we go. And if you were all-American, please stand up. There we go, Lucy. Thank you. Congratulations. All right. The next video I'm a little nervous about. It may or may be not mocking me a little bit, but that's okay. But our crack game day crew went on to campus and tried to find out what other students think of student athletes or... come on, we can laugh at each other just a little bit, right? I have not seen this video, so sorry in advance. Let's go, let's give it a try.
All right, what's your name? What grade are you in?
My name is Abby, and I am a freshman.
Mike Assad.
Grace.
I'm Josiah Myers. I'm a freshman.
I'm Ben. I'm a senior.
My name is Isaiah King. I'm a freshman at Kelvin University.
I'm Sophia, and I'm a senior.
What's your name?
Calvin. Yeah, my name is JB, and I'm the Associate Dean of Campus Involvement.
Now we're gonna show you some Calvin athletic staffers, and just give me a guess of their first name if you don't know it, and then what sport they coach. Okay, here's the first one.
No idea. No clue. Going to guess Catherine.
That is Jill, and she coaches softball.
She looks like a Kelly who coaches lacrosse.
Okay, here's the first one.
Oh, this is Jill. Jill from church. She does softball, I think, here at Calvin.
That's Jill.
That is Jill.
She coaches softball.
I know Amber quite well. Yeah, Amber's the head volleyball coach and the assistant athletic director.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Who's this, and what sport they coach?
I have no idea who that guy is. Maybe the baseball coach.
Soccer?
Okay, it's not soccer.
That's Brant, and he coaches cross country.
That's correct. I don't remember his name. Paxton.
Trent.
Okay, that's correct.
The football coach.
Yes, wow.
I watched my boy Trent Fake. That is Coach. I totally know him. What sport? Football, of course.
Okay, football. What's his name?
Coach Fig. Coach Fig. There we go.
There you go.
Sorry, I apologize. I know your name.
All right.
A lot of pressure right now.
All right, last one. Who's this, and what sport do they coach?
I don't know who that guy is.
Who's this?
That's Maxwell, and he coaches tennis.
That is not Coach Saul.
You're correct. That is not Coach Saul.
Dugal.
He doesn't do golf.
Like, it's not Dugal.
Just think you guessed his name.
I don't know. Rick.
What does he look like? Like a Steve, a Brian?
He does look like a Steve.
Shoot. This guy kind of looks like the Penguin. Definitely like a Bill.
Jeremiah and lacrosse.
This list of names right here.
Yeah.
These are just people who are athletes at Calvin. I want you to try to pronounce all their names.
Okay.
How would you pronounce that first name?
Peter Mark Verwer.
Peter Mark Vleuer.
Peter Mark Vleuer.
Okay.
Peter Mark Vleuer.
Peter Mark Lover.
Peter Mark Vleuer.
Peter Malvuker.
Okay, second name?
Ryan Chicart. Ryan Shizhart.
Ryan Tishkart.
Ryan Sherhart.
Ryan Sherhart.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Ryan Sherhart.
That's correct.
Ryan T-shirt Hart. Ryan Schitzert.
We're gonna have to bleep that out.
Luke. Man, Luke's. What's your name there?
Luke Nugan.
Luke Nguyen.
Luke Nugan.
The N's probably silent. So Guyan.
Luke Nugent.
Luke Gwen.
All right, third name or fourth name?
Luke Win.
Okay, next one.
Uchenna. Ooh, this is like French or something.
Yuchin Iziki.
Uchenna Egzenken.
Am I close?
Uchenna Igekisi? I don't know.
Yeah, I did spell it right.
Uchenna Ikeze? Uchenna is Ikizki?
Gexi.
Uchenna is Kizi?
Ushena Egekeze.
All right.
That last one.
All right, last one. Give it a crack.
Oh my goodness. Christoph Petrova.
Christoph Porzingis.
What?
Christoph Petrila. Christoph Petrila.
Oh man, Christoph Petrola.
And Christoph Petrila.
Okay, that's all we got. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
I actually like the penguin. That was a great show. So I'm not deeply offended. Thank you for that little interlude there. On to the awards. This next award is presented by Lindsay Houtsma from our women's soccer program. Lindsay.
Female Freshman of the Year. This award recognizes the female athlete who made the most significant contribution to her team as a first-year student athlete. The nominees are Jamie Custer, women's basketball; Ella Easterling, women's indoor track and field; Valeria Frias, softball; Delaney Johnson, women's lacrosse; Ryan Morey, women's tennis; Bethany Nakai, women's acrobatics and tumbling; Olivia Rawls, women's soccer. And the award goes to Delaney Johnson, women's lacrosse.
She's confused. Delaney's been a prolific goal scorer for the women's lacrosse program and had a tremendous offensive year. So congratulations to Delaney. One more time, let's give her a hand. The Male Freshman of the Year will be presented by Gabe Laughlin from our men's volleyball program. Gabe.
This award recognizes the male athlete who made the most significant contribution to his team as a first-year student athlete. And the nominees are Dylan Clark, men's golf; Tony Eaton, D1 hockey; Extreme Hawk, men's soccer; Troy Jones, men's volleyball; Trevor Martins, football; Vaughn Meyer, men's cross country; and Noah Swope, baseball. And the award goes to Vaughn Meyer, men's cross country.
Vaughn was an integral part of our men's cross country team, continuing their, I'm going to get it wrong, 36th or 37th MIAA championship. Congratulations, Vaughn. All right, we're rolling along here. Winter, folks, just got we go through your awards here. So again, Player of the Week, Specialty Player of the Week. I'm including, I think volleyball and acro are in this category. So Player of the Week, please stand up. Winner, Player of the Week. Academic, all district, please stand up. Academic, all-American, or whatever your governing body is, all right. Not a lot of that in the winter, okay. All MIAA second team or your second team that you have. All MIAA first team. There we go. MIAA MVP and or Defensive Player of the Year, or if you won both, please stand up. I can't see, but my script says all the D3 hockey award winners, please stand up. D1 hockey winners, please stand up. All region, if you were all region, please stand up. If you were all-American in your sport, please stand up. Should have a lot over here, swimming. Uchenna. If you were national runner-up in your event, please stand up. And we have a few of these, so just transition to kind of in between there. If at this point in the spring of 2025, if you've been a Player of the Week in 2025, please stand up. In the spring, there we go. Okay, and our volleyball folks for MVCL, please stand up. All right, we have about 10 minutes or so we have left. We're gonna next awards are gonna be the Male Athlete of the Year and Female Athlete of the Year are our next two awards. But we're gonna show a short video to maybe get to know them a little bit relative to their knowledge of Kelvin. And yeah, so roll the. It's a little quiet, but you have to see it.
Stupid questions. How many Calvin walks have you been on?
What's a Calvin walk?
You actually know?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. My name's Alex White. I'm on the men's soccer team, and this is take one.
Alex, how many Calvin walks have you been on?
I don't know what a Calvin walk is.
0.
Can say I've never been on a Kelvin walk at Kelvin.
I think I've only been on like 3, all with my girlfriend, just for verification.
2, unfortunately. 1. Freshman year.
I think 1.
1 as well.
I want to say like 2.
0.
About like 50, 55.
0.
Definitely commons.
I think commons just because I like upper crust.
Commons.
Certainly commons.
Probably like no crest. Like some fish or something.
Controversial, but no crust.
Preferably neither, but if I have to pick, Commons.
I would have to say Knoll Crest.
Commons.
Commons. Knoll has my heart. I really like the place with the talk. I don't know which one it's called, but the talk place. Yeah, Knoll Crest.
PJ, Philip Johnson.
Chris Fox, graphic design professor.
Sung Soo Lim, econ professor.
Like John Sparks. Professor Tuber Gannon.
Professor Washington.
Professor Sanaya in the chemistry department.
Like Scott Rush. Yeah, his class is brutal, but it's awesome.
I'd say Professor Woodard.
Professor Voss Candy.
And Dr. Kara Kreisman in the spot department.
Professor Snyder.
Men's volleyball. I love golf, but I'm not very good at golf, so that would be up there.
Track. I'd outrun Kobe.
I think I'd enjoy volleyball. I think if I didn't play soccer, I'd do volleyball. Basketball.
I don't think I'd be particularly good at anything. I might also go with basketball.
Probably swimming. I was a swimmer for 12 years down in Florida.
Track and field probably, or soccer.
Probably none. I'm not the most athletic on land.
Probably basketball.
Yep.
Basketball.
Baseball, yeah.
Not a good one, but I can try. Yeah, ladies, let's go.
Now listen here, son. That's just not good enough. You're playing at a third grade pace. No. That's not good enough. I could try sitting here in silence for a couple seconds.
I think Baj did it.
She always yells pop-up double play. Oh. She always says stay crisp. Stay crisp.
Yes, sir, let's go, boys!
You know, there's a running joke that Saul never really yelled at me much. And I'd always get kind of, I don't know. I'd say...
There's a lot of things. I would probably say the turnovers.
I don't really yell. Not paying attention. She has to repeat things 4 times, specifically for me.
What does Dan Gallagher do?
Being on time.
Just to attack every pace.
Definitely dribbling in circles.
Probably just communication, talking more. But yeah, but honestly, you can't hear half the time on the sidelines, so a lot of the things just go over your head.
I don't. My grandma does not want me to celebrate across the line. She thinks it makes me full of myself. So it's like the sword talk kind of deal, and then I just wait for the boys to come give us a hug. So
Sometimes I like fall over because I'm so tired. That's at least for me.
Like a fist bump, or if I hit a 3, it's like
I usually keep running the opposite direction to cheer on my teammates.
usually I just slap the water when I'm in the pool.
Celebrating with my catcher, high fives with the team.
I would say after a relay, just like hugging your teammates.
Or I'm very subtle. It's just a nice little fist pound. Just celebrating with my team.
I'd usually just run to the corner because I was so happy. I would always end up forgetting what to do. I mean, I hit the gritty once, but it was horrible. It was atrocious, so I didn't do it again.
So we obviously took a little surprise away, but to announce our male athlete of the year, presenter from our men's lacrosse program, Josh Gage.
Male Athlete of the Year. This award recognizes the male athlete who made the most significant individual contribution to his team. David Bajwa, men's swimming and diving.
Uchenna Agakeza, men's basketball. Stephen Ickes, D1 hockey. Owen Varnado, men's basketball. Alex White, men's soccer. Luke Whitvleet, men's track and field. And the award goes to David Bajwa.
This is the second consecutive year Dave shared the award with Jalen Overweight last year and had another tremendous year in the pool, leading his team to 11th place finish at the national meet. To announce our female athlete of the year from our women's softball program, Taylor Samlin.
Female Athlete of the Year. This award recognizes the female athlete who made the most significant individual contribution to her team. The nominees are Sophie Bull, women's cross country and track, Maggie Farrell, women's swimming and diving, Catherine Gardner, women's triathlon, Brooke Hunderman, women's softball, Lucy Iverson, women's soccer, and Mia Judd, women's soccer. And the award goes to Sophie Bull.
Sophie burst onto the scene last year with her All-American performance and then has continued just almost a year-long unbelievable performance in cross country and track and the steeplechase. So congratulations, Sophie. All right, the next presenter, guy, I really like this guy, me. So. Boo. This is for the women's team of the year. This award recognizes teams whose seasons capture the attention of the whole Calvin community. These teams produce championships, outstanding records, significant victories, and lasting memories. On the women's side, on a tough field of nominees, women's cross country, women's indoor track and field with their championship, women's lacrosse with an outstanding season, and then women's soccer. The award goes to, I actually know this, women's soccer. Women's soccer, here we go. Women's soccer both won the MIAA regular season and won the MIAA Conference Tournament Championship, taking home 2 trophies, 6 in a row for this program. So women's soccer. Either way. Either way. The next award is the male team of the year. Same deal. Award recognizes the men's team whose season again captured the attention of Calvin, produced championships, outstanding records, significant victories, and lasting memories. The nominees are men's basketball with a 20-game win streak and their third straight MIAA championship. Men's cross country, some unbelievable performances, and conference and regional champions. ACH D1 hockey with the most victories ever for the program and a quarterfinal appearance. And men's swimming with the MIAA championship and an 11th place finish in the nation. And for the second year in a row, men's swimming is your winner. There we go, men's swimming.
Right there, front. Smile.
We've come to the final award of the evening. This one is annually presented by the president of the university since the inception of the C Club Awards. Last year, this time, we announced interim president Elzinga, and this year I am thrilled to announce just President Elzinga. So President Elzinga with the Beret Memorial Scholar Athlete.
Thank you, Jim. And before I do this, can we just join together in thanking the hardest working AD in D3 Sports, Jim Timmer? And I just want to thank all of you for being here tonight. You all represent Calvin in amazing ways. On the court, on the field, in the classroom, you are champions in every aspect of the word, and you exhibit the mission of Calvin so well. So we are so proud of every single one of you. So thanks for being here tonight. So it is my honor to present the Beret Memorial Award. The Beret Memorial Award honors the top senior male student athlete based on athletic ability, scholastic rank, character, and leadership. The recipient is selected by Calvin's varsity coaches, athletic administrators, and faculty athletic representatives. It is awarded in memory of Joe Beret, a Calvin student who was killed in a 1949 auto accident on his way to watch a Calvin basketball game. And the award goes to Uchenna Egekeze and Luke Whitfleet.
good?
Yeah.
I think I just have some thank yous to say. I'm just so thankful to be a part of the cross country and track teams here at Calvin. So thanks to my coaches who've worked with me so hard over the past 4 years, and thanks to all my teammates. I think 4 p.m. is the best part of my day because I get to see all of you and run with all of you, and it's just such a huge gift. I think the thing that makes Calvin special is the intersection of a few different things. So there's a lot of schools out there that have great athletic departments. There's a lot of schools out there that are Christian. There's a lot of schools out there that have excellent academics. I think Calvin just hits all three, and then it's wrapped together with just a really awesome community. And I'm so grateful to have gotten to know so many of the people who are here and so many people in the athletic department. So thank you so much.
I just want to say thank you so much for this award. Just truly grateful for the past 5 years. It's been quite an incredible experience and journey for myself, and I'd just like to thank all my coaches that have developed me to the man I am today, and to the players. Just thank you for all the memories and experiences, and thank you to everyone here as well too. You guys have been so instrumental in what makes Calvin Athletics, and to the seniors just that are moving on, I wish you guys the best of luck, and to everyone that's coming back, just do your thing this next year and repeat what we've been doing all these years. So thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay, it's now my honor to present the K. Tiemersma Award. This is the 39th year that Calvin has given the K. Tiemersma Award, presented annually to the top senior female student athlete, based on athletic ability, scholastic standing, character, and leadership. The recipient is selected by Calvin's varsity coaches, athletic administrators, and faculty athletic representatives. The award honors K. Tiemersma, the first woman physical education teacher in the member schools of the Christian Schools International Organization, and a pioneer in women's sports. And this year's winner is Sydney Sande.
So I'm going to be honest, I didn't even know I was nominated for this award until about an hour ago when Timmer told me. So I don't have something big prepared, but I just want to say, first of all, thank you to all of my teammates. Swimming has been such a pleasure. I didn't originally imagine coming to Calvin, but I'm so lucky that I did. I swam here for 4 years, and I was a double major of computer science and biochem, and so I want to thank everybody on that team that's come before me and was able to teach me and help me. And it wasn't always easy, but it was always fun, and I really have my teammates to thank for that. My coaches as well, coming to my 4 p.m. swim practice used to be such a burden in the past before I came to Calvin, but it was so much fun doing it here. I want to thank my professors for teaching me everything that I could learn here, and yeah, thank you so much.
There you go, Sydney. All right, so the last thing we do each year is we really try to honor the seniors. That's the C in the C Club. They earn that plaque. And so seniors are very special, whether they're fifth-year seniors and they've kind of grinded through 4 or 5 years. For you all, we celebrate those seniors because it is a time commitment. It is a balancing act. It is a relationship journey that I just think we sometimes take for granted here at Calvin. So, you know, we're going to try to do this again. It never works, but I'm going to try it again. I would like all the seniors, before you take your plaque, which is what we'll do right at the end, see if we can get a group picture. We can use the floor and the stage. So if one of your plaques is up here, you're a senior, come on up. Stand up, give them applause, and we're out of here tonight. Thank you for coming. Have a great night. Have a great night. There you go. Thank you for attending.